Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and I'm out at the Biloxi beach shore. Behind me is one of the old piers that was wiped out by Hurricane Katrina, and now a whole bunch of birds just like to sit on it. Got shrimp boats going by. I don't know if you can see those well enough here on camera. You might have to run at full 1080p to actually appreciate them. And I don't know, do we have any more coming up? I don't see any more out there, but who knows? Maybe somebody will come by. The beaches out here, by the way, are white sand, very nice, and the water is warm. Yeah, so anyway, I have a great question here from Jack, and this is a Runescape question. He wants to know, let's see, he has a question about a game called Runescape. Runescape was a game I played a long time ago. Jagex, the makers of Runescape, made a lot of major updates that nobody liked, and this resulted in people quitting and ranting about the game. Everyone liked the game back in the glory days of 2000 to 2006, and everyone wants to relive those days. Just like Ultima Online had good times. Whenever they put in, gosh, through Second Age was okay. Whenever they put in, where they changed all the names of all the items and everything, and took out, you know, the vanquishing sword of might, and you know, surpassingly accurate supreme. You know, anyway, I don't remember all the names now, but there was a whole bunch of stuff that got changed, and so yes, there were the glory days of the original stuff. So anyway, apparently in RuneScape they had them as well. The golden age of RuneScape and Ultima Online. So here he says, some people have been remaking RuneScape just how it was in 2006, and they call it, I'm going to leave that part out, what they call it. It already has 174,000 people registered, and the reason I'm leaving it out is because it's a third-party server, and I'll get to that more as to why I'm actually not saying what I'm thinking on that. Let's see, a lot of my friends and a lot of other people are pumped up about this, but my fear is that Jagex will close it down, knowing that Jagex has said nothing about this, but they must know about it. And so he wants to know what I think about that. Well, first off, there's been a lot of third-party shards. And those shards for Ultima Online, they've been messed with in the past, and some of them haven't been. And I can't tell you the reason why some of them have been messed with and some of them haven't been. But I do know that it's both sides of the coin on that. And so the with Jagex and RuneScape, I don't know why they wouldn't mess with it. Because that's taking paid players away, and let me read a little bit further though here, and I didn't tell you the name of it because I can't support you going out to there and playing, because I know that that's not what's wanted by Jagex. They would prefer that you don't, and I believe that they have copyright to where, you know, it's not valid that they're using the server like this. So so I went to the site, and the first thing that came up was a thing that asked me to agree to a statement. So, and it's the entry agreement. And let me just read this to you and see if it gives you any red flags. By continuing, you agree to all of the following statements. You are not an employee, lawyer, or contractor of Jagex, RuneScape, FunOrb, Stellar Dawn, War of Legends, or Adlex Solicitors, and are not a family member or acquaintance of aforementioned. All of the information on this site is solely for learning purposes. The main purpose of this site is to instruct people in the art of programming. All programs provided for download from this site are entirely programmed by the members of this community and not intellectual property of any business or organization. No profit is made from this website. All proceeds go directly into costs. The authors of this website are in no way responsible for legally for its contents. Let's see, or the content that a user posts on it. Nothing is sold, i.e. ownership transferred, on this website. Only a service of updating our database is provided. You will not use your Runescape username or password to register for any of our services. You will abide by any changes made to this page in the future. Okay, so that was the major print, and then the fine print under the I agree button. In no event shall the author of this website nor company hosting it be liable for any claim, damages, or other liability, whether in action of contract, tort, otherwise, arising from, anyway, don't need that. If you understand and accept these, please click the I agree below, and that actually was below it already. Or you're supposed to click disagree. Please note this is a binding contract under law. If you breach this contract, it will be legally disputed. And then the final statement. If you do not agree to the statements above and click I agree, this means you are accessing the website without authorization. This is an offense under the Computer Misuse Act of 1990 and is punishable by law in the UK. They must be from the UK. In the UK with a fine of up to 6 months in prison. This also applies to other countries where similar laws exist. So I know that this was not written by a lawyer. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of back when we were, well, let me just say that when I was much younger, back in the BBS days, I frequented a lot of pirate boards where we got software that wasn't paid for. I since then I now pay for everything because it's the right thing to do. But that's exactly what this reminds me of. How are they able to get away with this? I mean, it's not, this whole deal is that, you know, they're trying to give an excuse for why they can violate the copyright. And you know, they have emulated the product and everything. I suppose, though, you know, how do they? You know, I saw this car thing one time, and gonna make sure I'm not gonna get wet here. I'm hearing the waves much louder. I saw this car one time that was a Jeep converted into a Hummer, and it was like this Hummer kit. It wasn't quite the same as, but it looked pretty similar. I suppose that they were able to sell that, but you know, if this is the game of RuneScape that they're playing, how is it that they can not violate any copyright? Especially if, you know, maybe they're remaking every single one of the art images. Maybe they are programming the client by hand, and maybe they're just doing the rule set as they know it in their head from 2006 and prior for it. Maybe that could all work. But there is still the trademark of RuneScape. They're mentioning RuneScape here. They link to Jagex on their webpage. You know, a bunch of stuff like that. And I just don't understand how they can get away with that and not be charged with some sort of copyright violation. And I believe that they're probably in the UK because they're citing UK law. And I believe that they can't enforce any of that. And I'm sure that there are Jagex employees who are on the server all the time. So it would be interesting to see if this site gets busted. I know that there's been some Ultima free shards that have survived for a lot of years. But when those popped up, I think that those may have been given a pass because they popped up a long time ago. And this one, you know, 174,000 users. That's, you know, that's a lot, you know, and just think if they're all just contributing $1 a month, that's $174,000 a month. And, you know, that sounds like some big money, which if I were Jagex, I'd certainly be looking at that. So give me your feedback. If you know why Jagex is not going after them, I would love to hear that. That might be content for a future video. But I suspect that they're probably just taking their time and you know, they gather evidence. You know, law takes a long time. Oh my God, you can't believe how long it takes to do some legal stuff. So if this site's been up for 6 months and you know, hasn't been hassled yet, Maybe Jagex is just about to drop the hammer, the ban hammer. Anyway, thanks for the question. I appreciate it. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care.